So guys, you're coming to Madrid and you've heard about the San Miguel Market or the Mercado de San Miguel, and you're like, should I visit there? What is it? What's it all about? When I get there, what do I do? What do I eat? What do I drink? Well, today, this is what this video is all about. This market right behind me in the center of Madrid is famous. Millions visit every year, and it's all about eating and drinking. People come here to eat tapas, drink wine, the whole bit. But here's the thing, once you get inside, there is so much choice. There's so many stalls in there. At peak times, there's so many people. So today, this video is all about telling you what to eat and what not to eat inside the Mercado San Miguel. So venga, let's go. Hey Spain lovers, I'm James Blick and welcome to Spain Revealed. This channel is all about how we eat, drink, live and love in this wonderful country called Spain. So the Mercado San Miguel, it's right here in the center of Madrid, right by the Plaza Mayor, and there's so many questions that people have about it. Should I visit it? Is it a tourist trap? Is it overpriced? I'm gonna answer all those questions today. We're gonna go inside and I'm gonna take you to some of my favorite stalls, and I'm also gonna try out some places I haven't tried before with you and see how they stack up and give you my really honest opinion about this place. Let's get in there and start eating. All right, it's just about 10:30 in the morning. The market opens at 10 a.m. Let's hit our first stop, which, hey, it's alcoholic, but you're on holiday, so it's okay, and it's Spain. So one of the places I always make sure I stop is La Hora de Vermut, which is our classic aperitif here in Madrid and other parts of Spain that we drink to open our appetite. So I've got these guys do great vermouths on tap. They have a number of different ones, one from Madrid, one from other parts of Spain, and they also get it with a banderilla, which is effectively delicious pickled things, olives, anchovies, all these other wonderful things, peppers on little skewers. Vermouth. It's bitter, it's sweet, and you can get them on tap in bars all over Madrid. I love La Hora de Vermut. And here they do them with these amazing banderillas. So this one I've got here has got an olive, it's got a pickled pepper, it's got an anchovy, it's got a red pepper, it's got a quail egg. And I always try and see if I can get it in one bite. No, I don't. 2 bites is what I try and do. Sharp, vinegary, wonderful. Here's this other one I've got. Olive, pickled peppers, sun-dried tomato, and a salt-cured anchovy. This is called a Gilda, and it's a famous type of skewer that's actually invented in the Basque country in San Sebastian. What I love about that one is it's got a bit of a heat as well from the pickled pepper. And when you order your skewers from this place, they will serve them with some olives. These are called Campo Real olives, and they're local to Madrid, and they're really herbal, and they're wonderful, covered in thyme and rosemary in the marinade. So good. So also one of the great things about the market here is you can walk around with your drink. So you can get your vermouth here, maybe have your olives, and then you can grab your drink and just walk to another stall, order more, whatever you want to do. So we're going to go for a little walk with my vermouth. Before we hit more stalls, I want to answer some really key questions about this market that often people ask. 1, is it a traditional market? 2, is it touristy? And 3, when is the best time to come? All right, let's go for a vermouth wander and I'll answer those questions. So question number 1, is this a traditional market? No, it's not in the sense you might be thinking of. This is, as I say, more of a gourmet food hall. So the places where people shop for their groceries, those kind of traditional markets, there's plenty of those in Madrid and they're wonderful places to visit. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you some names of them that you can visit because it's a different thing. Question number 2, is the Mercado San Miguel touristy? Well, look, it's right by the Plaza Mayor. It's right in the center of Madrid, and it's a place where you can try so many different foods from all over Spain. So of course it's a place that tourists are going to come to when they're visiting the capital. It just makes sense. And question 3, when is the best time to visit the market? Well, look, it's about 10:45 on a Saturday morning here. It's getting busier. I was speaking to one of the guys who works at the vermouth place, and he told me that the real busy times are from about midday till about 3 p.m. and then again from about sort of 7:30, 8 p.m. until about 10:30 p.m. So those are really the really busy times where you kind of have to struggle a little bit maybe to get to that vermouth counter or get to the food that you want. The market's open from 10 a.m. in the morning right through to midnight or even later on the weekends. All right, we need to keep eating. Okay, next stop, cheese, something that you obviously have to eat here in Spain. And QUESOS is a stall here that does individual portions of cheese, and they have a really great selection. They've got cheeses from throughout Spain. I've got here manchego, I've got blue cheese from the north of Spain, big chunks, and I've got a goat's cheese. You can always tell because they're very white, from Madrid. Now that's €1.80 per slice of cheese, and that raises another question you might be thinking, well, is the Mercado San Miguel really expensive? Well, look, well, yeah, there are cheaper ways to buy this cheese, but the fact is, you're paying for the ease of being able to come here, order individual slices, and they're big chunky slices, and you're right in the center of Madrid. So in the Mercado San Miguel, sometimes you're going to pay a little bit more, but that's just the nature of the beast, the nature of this kind of place. All right, I'm going to try this cheese. Everybody when they come to Spain wants to try manchego, and I understand. And this is a good one. And I love it when cheese is cut big and thick. Really delicious. Goat cheese. I'm a huge goat cheese fan. That's really good. And perfect temperature as well. The blue from the north of Spain. Wow, strong. Really strong. And who says France is the only country that does blue cheese? Really, really good. All right, let's keep moving on. We've got more food to try. So next stop is bacalao. La Casa de Bacalao, you can buy it in these little tapas sizes, which are delicious, really easy to eat. They don't just have bacalao, they also have anchovies, octopus. I've got smoked sardine and also bacalao, and so it's a great place to try that dish that you've heard a lot about, you know, without ordering a huge meal of bacalao in a restaurant. So €1.50 for some of these, which I think is a pretty good deal. All right, so let's try it. We'll start with the bacalao al ajorero, which is with tomato and vegetables. Bacalao has its own unique taste. It's a little bit fishy, it's a little bit salty, but that's been really nicely done. Sometimes when it's not desalted enough, it can be too salty, but this has been desalted perfectly. Now I'm gonna go for one of my favorite things in the world, which is smoked fish, smoked sardine. Really, really good. And one of the things I love about that is smoked sardines are really expensive when you go and buy them in big jars in the supermarkets. This is a great way to get it without buying the full jar. So the Casa de Bacalao is another place I recommend here in the market that you check out. Okay, so 3 cold tapas down. It's time for a glass of wine. There's a place here called Mr. Pinkerton. It's a wine bar, and despite the very un-Spanish sounding name, it's legit and they have a great selection of wines. And again, like the vermouth, you can order your wine at Mr. Pinkerton and then walk around and order more food. So let's grab some wine and then we'll keep eating. So a glass of Albarino at Mr. Pinkerton, €3.50, so not a bad price. I'm sure you can get it cheaper, but again, not crazy. What I quite like about this place is they have a really good selection of wine. You can go from, you know, some everyday drinking stuff right up some really, really classy bottles and glasses. But one thing that also is cool about this place is they have an excellent selection of sherries. Now, when people think sherry, they think of sweet wine, but remember, most sherries are dry. They can only be made in Spain. If you wanted to try some dry Spanish sherry or some sweet stuff, then this is also a great place to do that. All right, I'm gonna sip my wine and then we're gonna keep eating. Okay, so I've just ordered my boquerones fritos, my fried anchovies, and I've come over to a corner of the market. It's a little quieter to film this. Also because I didn't want to talk about it in front of the people there because, man, it was expensive. I was not expecting that. As I say, I haven't eaten cooked food in this market before. So, €14 for this ration, this plate of fried anchovies. Now, to give you some context, I know at Casa Tony, a place I love, they're about €6.50, €7, half the price. Obviously the rent is crazy high here and things like that, but just to give you an idea, if you want to get fried anchovies at that place, you're going to pay a lot more than you would maybe at a traditional Madrid tapas bar. Okay, so we know they're more expensive, but are they better? Let's try one. They're okay. The fish is obviously very fresh. It's a good boquerón, it's a good anchovy, it's meaty, but it's a bit chewy and it's not very crunchy. And here's the rub, is that they were not cooked fresh to order for me. So what happened is they were served, as you'll see, out of the warmer. So they'd probably been fried maybe 5-10 minutes beforehand. So, you know, you're paying more and you're not necessarily getting them fresh to order. Now, obviously if you ordered them straight as they'd come out, that would be a different story. It's just kind of a pity. It tastes like the quality is really good. Great seafood, great produce, great battering and everything, but just kind of let down because of the way it has to be served, not cooked to order. On the other hand, I told the guy I was a YouTuber and he served me some squid tentacles that he'd just battered and fried in the moment, and he put those on my plate as well. And I just tried one of those and it was delicious. The batter was perfect. The meat and of the squid was really tender. So if you can get them lucky enough to come right out of the fryer, then they're really, really good, but still more expensive. Although one thing that's interesting is you can order a mixture. So you can order a little bit of calamari, you can order a little bit of fried anchovies, you can order a little bit of squid, for example, and then you'll still pay a similar price, I think about €16. So second lot of cooked tapas, I'm at a place called ARZABAL. This place is a tapas bar in the Ibiza neighborhood of Madrid, and so they've opened a couple of stalls here. Actually, they have one at this end, which is with cooked tapas, cooked raciones. Here I've ordered some patatas bravas, and after the fried anchovies shock, the prices here are actually not too bad. €7 for some bravas. Yeah, you can get them cheaper, but that's not crazy at all. And while I wait for the patatas bravas, it's a good moment actually just kind of recap on a couple of things I've overheard or heard while I've been in the market so far. I was was walking past a bunch of people just before, and one of them said to his friend, the one in Barcelona is much bigger. So obviously he was referring to the Boqueria. Now, it's interesting that people group these two together, but they're very different things. The Boqueria is a traditional market. It's just become such a popular tourist destination, but it still functions as a traditional market. The Mercado San Miguel is not a traditional market, as I said earlier. It's a gourmet food hall, a gourmet tapas hall. So they're two very different things. So don't kind of group them together. All right, and just swinging around, the other thing is two people just came up to me who are fans of the YouTube channel, and they made a really interesting comment. They've obviously seen the channel, they've explored, they've been to places beyond the Mercado San Miguel, but they said they love it here. So I thought that was really interesting. There are people who have watched a lot of the videos, they've explored, they've gone deeper, they've gone to tapas bars that are, you know, in the neighborhoods and things like that, but they still like this place, they still enjoy it. And I think that's why it's wrong to say that you should avoid the Mercado San Miguel. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more expensive at times, depends on the stall, but it's a great place to get your sea legs, it's a great place to come first, it's a great place to walk around with a glass of wine, get exposed to so many different types of Spanish food in one place, but just know that it's the beginning of your adventure, eating in Madrid, not the end of it. Okay, so the bravas have come now, very different experience from the fried fish. These were cooked to order, so I waited about 10 minutes for them, so that's a good sign, and a good serving size, a ración size, so it wasn't like I spent €7 and got a tiny portion. Let's try them, let's see what they're like. I'm actually surprised. I thought they were going to be a lot better. Freshly cooked. The sauce just isn't very nice. It's not sort of really spicy. It's a bit watery. So pretty average, but I actually don't think that necessarily has anything to do with the Mercado San Miguel. If you go to ARZABAL, their bar in Ibiza, it's possibly the exact same recipe. Everything's exactly the same. So they're legitimate, but I just don't like the style. I don't think they're great. All right, next I want to talk to you about the pintxos, those little things on bread that you'll see down the other end of the market, because those are really popular with people, and I kind of want to help you understand them. So let's head there. So one style of tapas you're going to see a lot of here in the market are pintxos. Those are those things on bread, kind of like this guy, excuse the napkin, where they're a style of tapas, as you'll know if you've been watching this channel for a while, from the north of Spain, particularly from the Basque country, and it's a really popular option here in the market because it's really easy to serve and to eat on the run when you're getting your central table and you can get a whole bunch of different yummy things on top of bread. So you'll see multiple different stalls serving them, a few that are more focused on that purely. Now, my only suggestion with that is I would say stick to pintxos that don't need to be reheated, because sometimes they will here put them in the microwave. I would actually prefer to eat it lukewarm or room temperature than have it go through the microwave. So I would focus on things, seafood, ham, cheese. In this case, I have anchovies, boiled egg, and a little chopped up onion by the looks of it, and a little bit of garlic alioli on top. Let's see how it is. Really, really delicious actually. That was really, really good. Perfectly garlicky alioli there. It's got the onion with some nice bite, the anchovy. So that was excellent. That was actually from a place that's right behind me, AMAIKETAKO, which has a lot of different canned and preserved products from the northern parts of Spain. And they have this other one, which is an artichoke, and it has like ham on the top or something like this. And what was interesting is they didn't microwave this to heat it up. They put it under a grill, so much better. It's good to see that happening. That was really good. I know I'm frowning a lot, but I'm not intending to. That was delicious. So that was an artichoke that had been served on a plastic spoon, sitting in beautiful olive oil, and with little bits of, it tastes like little pieces of Iberian ham on the top. Really, really yummy. And again, they heated it up, not in a microwave, but under the grill. And you didn't even have to do that. I think you could have eaten it just at room temperature as well. It would have been delicious. So again, that's my tip for pintxos. Stick to the ones that don't need to be heated up. Okay, one of the most popular stalls here in the market is the paella stall, called Paella Power. It's kind of a naff name, but the paellas looked great. This one, it's actually headed by a Michelin star chef called Rodrigo de la Calle. And as I say, they look pretty good and they look authentic, and they're being served and made in the moment there, just on proper ring grills as a paella should be. And every 10-15 minutes they come out with a new one. And I guess what's important about paella to know is that unlike fried fish, you know, it's been sitting there for 10-15 minutes, that's fine, you know, leaving it better with flavor. So I'm going to try it. I've got it here. Hot. Actually, it's not bad. It's full of flavor. You can really taste the rosemary in there. It's got the garrafo, it's got the chicken, it's got the beans. It's good. It's not bad. The rice is a little bit crunchy, a little bit al dente, as it should be. You can tell that they've been making them really quickly, so the stock hasn't quite integrated. The stock is almost a little bit overpowering for a paella that's kind of fast food and made that quickly. I think that's actually, yeah, pretty legit. Pretty legit. I'm going to give that one a pass. 10 euros for this plate, so again, it's expensive, but it's a legitimate, and I'm glad they're doing legitimate paella here. And again, the other thing also is that if you go to a restaurant, you might have to order an entire paella if you want to try it, because if you only want to order order a small portion, it may be pretty bad in a typical restaurant because it's not made for you. So I think if you want just a single portion of paella, although you're going to pay a little bit of a premium, this is actually a pretty good place to try it. Good work, Rodrigo de la Calle. Why can't I say the name Rodrigo? It's so hard. Can you say that at home? Can you give me any tips for saying that properly? Rodrigo. I think it's the D and the R. I can say surname though, de la Calle. That's easy. All right, moving on. Okay, so I have stuffed myself with savory dishes and it's come time for dessert. Now, there's a couple of options here for sweets in the market. There's the Horno de San Onofre, which is a pastry shop, bakery that's been running in Madrid. They have a few branches around the capital, but I wanted to go with something a little different, and that's a new stall, and that's ROCAMBOLESC. ROCAMBOLESC is an ice cream parlor, a gelateria that's being created by Jordi Roca, who's a very, very famous pastry chef, a Michelin-starred pastry and dessert chef, and he has this place. They have one in Barcelona as well, and this is like the Madrid branch of it here in the market. Now, I'm not a huge sweets person. I'm not a huge ice cream person either, but I'm going to try it and see what it's like. Yeah, it's good. It's a good ice cream. I mean, it's been a long time since I've had ice cream, but that's quite good. It's creamy, it's not too sweet. That's great. And actually, I think it's a gelato. It's not an ice cream. So, as you can see, out of my depth. But in terms of a white ice creamy gelato-y dessert, that is delicious. Got some toppings on there that she recommended. There's some chocolate brownie on top. There's some caramel crunchy bits. They've got some crazier ones there. They've also got a chocolate flavor. So, if you feel like something really cool and refreshing and sweet at the end of your adventure here at the Mercado de San Miguel, I think that's a totally fantastic choice. So, guys, if you're looking for traditional markets, as I say, the Mercado de San Miguel is more of a gourmet food hall, then check out the description below. I'm going to put the names of some traditional markets, including the Mercado de Anton Martin, which is a fantastic traditional market that I actually made a video on about exploring that, all the different stalls, and you'll really see the difference from this place, so I'll link to that video below. The other thing, if you want to eat tapas here in Madrid or Barcelona, Seville or San Sebastian, also below I will link to my free tapas guide that lists 5 of my favorite tapas bars in each of those 4 cities, Madrid, Barcelona, Seville and San Sebastian. Download it for free, check it out, and that will really help you explore and eat really well in those different parts of Spain. And last of all, I'm going to link below a playlist so you can eat like a local in Madrid and keep eating and go beyond the Mercado de San Miguel. It's a great place to start, great place to get your sea legs, but there's so much more. So I'll put all that information below so you can explore more. Great to see you guys today. Hasta luego, and we'll see you in the next video. Ciao.